How the world's dirtiest river is getting cleaned up. The number of rivers on Earth ranges from 2.5 to 4 billion. Throughout human history, rivers have been a source of life and prosperity, but rapid human activity has resulted in the emergence of water arteries that bring disease and death. One of the most dangerous and toxic rivers today is the Citarum River in Indonesia. In this video, we will explain what caused the river to be this polluted, how do people live on the river's banks, and what efforts are being made to purify it. Welcome to Circle of the Earth, where we explore everything about reforestation, desertification, and greening projects. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. With a length of around 270 kilometers, the Citarum is the longest and biggest river in West Java. It connects the communities with more than 25 million residents on Indonesia's most populated province. Located east of Jakarta, which is the biggest city in Southeast Asia, the Citarum River is the main source of water for residents and companies on the island. But the view of a lush green river is long gone. The Green Cross in Switzerland and the Pure Earth Blacksmith Institute in New York lists the Citarum as one of the world's 10 most polluted areas. This is a real ecological disaster because the waters of Citarum are literally suffocated by domestic waste and from chemicals dumped into the water by nearby companies. As a result, mountains of dirt and waste piled up on the river's banks, and people are forced to live among them. The invisible chemicals contaminate the water and are causing harm to animals, fish, and plants, and are a threat to the drinking water system. Also, as the Citarum River disembogues into the Java Sea, dirt and chemicals end up in oceans, making it even more important to stop the pollution and purify the river as soon as possible. It's not a surprise that the majority of the river's water has been classified unsafe for human consumption due to high lead levels and levels of fecal bacteria that are more than 5,000 times the legal limit for drinking water. The consequences for individuals residing in communities along the river are severe, since they have nowhere to dispose of their waste, no access to sanitary services, and are forced to use the only water source that is available to them, the Citarum River. People in the area are now suffering from a variety of illnesses, such as dermatitis and rashes, gastrointestinal issues, kidney disease, tumors, and chronic bronchitis. Furthermore, former fishermen do not make a living from the catch, but from the trash they fish out of the Citarum, exposing themselves to infectious diseases and poisoning while earning only $1 to $2 per week. Only 40 years ago, this river had clean water that the local population used for their own needs, fished, and grew rice, one of the main products in the diet of the residents, which became inaccessible due to pollution. Since the 1970s, more than 800 textile factories have been established in the areas where the Citarum flows. According to the most recent data, around 2,800 companies today use the Citarum River as a source of water. This is due to the fact that operations like bleaching and dyeing textiles consume significant amounts of water, which has been the key to the region's rapid expansion. 61% of the clothing manufactured on the banks of the Citarum is exported to foreign markets. The majority of the companies located here still make textiles, and some of them are significant connections in the supply chains of international fashion brands like Zara, Gap, Adidas, and H&M. Environmentalists point out that these textile factories discharge more than 20,000 tons of waste and 340,000 tons of sewage into the river every day. One effect of this pollution has been the estimated 60% decline in the river's fish population since 2008. Unfortunately, the drains of textile factories are only examined for a relatively small number of factors. According to tests carried out at the Gistex Textile Division Factory in May 2012, the wastewater from one of the plant's outflow pipelines has a pH of 14. This is the maximum level of alkalinity and can burn through human skin. Corruption is another serious issue. Nobody here is surprised that inspectors can be paid to look the other way. So far, only 14 companies have faced administrative or criminal penalties for Citarum pollution. Meanwhile, the Indonesian government blames the vast majority of the region's residents for pollution, claiming they dump household waste and untreated sewage into the river. But because there is no public garbage collection or landfill in many small villages along the Citarum, residents must choose between burning waste or simply throwing it into the water. Finally, in 2018, the Indonesian government established the Citarum Harum, a 7-year river revitalization program aimed at making the Citarum's water drinkable by 2025. Not a small task, but one with significant support. The project includes reforesting surrounding mountains, extracting toxic sediment, regulating wastewater discharge, and environmental education projects. Soldiers have been cleaning up specific sections of the river, as well as installing garbage and water treatment facilities. It'll cost approximately $4 billion to purify the Citarum River, which the government intends to fund from both private and public sources. A large information campaign was held for residents to explain how garbage discharge into the river affects the ecology of the entire planet. A department was established to control the discharge of rubbish into the river. Video surveillance cameras were put on the coast, and fines for contaminating the river were tightened. Cities have started making attempts to update their current waste collection and sorting systems. However, there's still a lot of work to be done. There are still textile factories that dump their untreated wastewater into the Citarum and its tributaries in secret at night or whenever authorities are not around. Locals say that illegal discharge of untreated industrial waste is still happening, although not as frequent and serious as it used to be. Also, the amount of domestic waste produced by those who live in its watershed areas is not decreasing much. The Citarum's future is causing concern among activists and experts. They've seen various administrations try to clean up the river, only to see that their programs fizzle out or run out of money. That leaves them wondering what will happen when the program ends in 2025. But let's stay positive. Things are improving slowly. The Citarum Harum project is now already running for 4 years. Today, there are places where swimming is possible. Scavengers who used to look for plastic cups and bottles have now become fishermen. Also, former local farmers have been starting with farming again. Before the river cleanup began, rice plants would die before they could grow, and even if they did grow, the plants would not produce grain. Now, farmers have had 6 harvest seasons in the past 2 years, which is a big boost for the local economy. For the first time in a long time, people could breathe normally in their houses, as the river had previously only released terrible smells that were impossible to escape from. All of these people's lives could be dramatically improved by the complete cleansing of the river, and the improvement of so many people's lives would definitely improve the quality of life in the entire world. Don't you think more countries should also start to clean up their rivers? Let us know in the comments what you think about the Citarum Harum project. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified on every new video from our channel. Thanks for watching.